Wake up, Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West, Mr. West. So, Donda, hashtag Donda is out, and I'm just gonna wait till I hear it on in stores, and maybe on the radio and passing and everything. But I want to go back to a better time period. We're gonna go back. This is throwback, whatever day I'm posting this. We're going back. We're going back to the Kanye West trilogy, the Star Wars of Kanye mixtapes. No, CDs. These were official albums, not mixtapes. Don't get people confused now. I know your name's horrible, but don't be getting the peeps confused. Make sure you put a picture of the candy peeps. So it's cool. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing any edits. No edits. This is raw, unfiltered. Trying to remember as much as possible the Kanye West trilogy. That's what we're going to call it. The Kanye West trilogy. Now, he came out as a gay man. No. That's something we will talk about, definitely, because that's relevant later on. But he came out after at some point in the late 90s, early 2000s, as a producer of hip-hop songs. Eventually he got to rock, ROC, the Rock Army, the Rock Nation, whatever. What was it? Rockefeller Records, that's what it was. I had to do all that association to get back to that, that now, did they still exist? I feel like they're defunct. I haven't seen Dame Dash in a decade, maybe more than that. I don't even know. This is kind of crazy. What happened to Rockefeller? But anyways, besides that, we put that aside. Maybe we'll table that discussion, and I'll find out one day, or you can let me know in the comments down below, of course, because you're a smart genius internet connoisseur who knows everything. So you're so genius that you're gonna put on your samurai outfit and get to your samurai keyboard and just let me have it about all the information that you know and all the different things that I don't know, because let's face it, I'm horrible, I know, and I'm an idiot. So, but let's talk about Kanye West's trilogy. So he's a producer. Then he starts pushing, what you learn on his first album. He starts pushing to get himself to become a rapper and to be seen as a rapper. He starts connecting with people like Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Questlove, and The Roots, and he's working with Rockefeller, but he's not officially a part of Rockefeller. He's just making songs for them. And then he's, I'm trying to remember exactly all the people he's involved with, but he's got Jay-Z. He's a little bit connected with Jay-Z because eventually he gets to work on Jay-Z's new album. He creates hits like H to the Izzo and Heart of the City, which is by far one of my favorite rap songs. He did so much good work creating beats that people just people behind the scenes and producers and rappers started to notice him in the early 2000s. But he was the whole time pushing, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a star. It was sort of kind of crazy at the time, because that wasn't normal. A producer does not become an artist. And the artists need the producers to help them produce the music so that they can be seen. Now, the producers oftentimes don't get seen, but at that time there were some producers that were coming out, like Just Blaze, Trey Songz. They were being like established, like as like people were noticing them, and they were becoming stars in their own right, and people started wanting to work with those producers. Now, there's a lot of producers that like to stay behind the scenes, don't want to be superstars, but then there's others that do, like Bruno Mars. So another example of a producer who, you know, gets out of just being sort of a producer or whatever, or gets to become a superstar. And so that's what Kanye wanted at the time, but then like Rockefeller didn't want to sign him, and you know, he explains this all, but eventually he gets signed by Rockefeller, and he gets to produce his record. And in the process of producing his record, he like announces that he's already got the next 2 records. He already knows what the next 2 records are, and so he's got this trilogy of records that the albums that he's gonna be making like over the next few years. And so it's kind of crazy, like that he had sort of this this already predetermined like idea of what he was gonna do. And it's almost like, and that's the same, like now it feels like he doesn't know really exactly what he's gonna do, what the plan is. Like even his album Donda doesn't, it feels sort of like whoa, okay, that's a little like, it feels like that would be an album that would have come out years ago after his mom's death. But whatever, that's a choice he gets to make. He's an artist. He's the best artist ever. I'm horribly right now. And so I discovered Kanye. Let's talk about my experience with Kanye. So I discovered Kanye before the College Dropout dropped. You know, I discovered him through watching MTV music videos back when they used to play music videos later in the evening and at night. And so I would just watch music videos a lot. Or at the time, I think we had DVR or TiVo, so I was able to record. And so I would just watch as many music videos as I possibly could. So I found Kanye through that. Like, that was one of the, you know, the music videos that I would watch, like, as much as I could. Because it's not like YouTube where you can go to any video and replay it. It's like you have to, like, you know, you'd have to catch it if you're trying to watch it live, or record it at the time and then play it back. So I eventually was playing that a lot, and then eventually the album came out, and there was sort of like, because I feel like there was like this 6 months gap between the first music video, which was Through the Wire, came out, and then finally the album came out. By that time, I'm already going through his production catalog. Like, I'm discovering, you know, at the same time I'm getting introduced to a friend's introducing me to Black Star, and then Talib Kweli's like Reflection Eternal album. I'm getting introduced to all kinds of other hip hop stuff, but like, so like I'm sort of like discovering Kanye on my own, but then I'm discovering other artists through this friend of mine. And so it's kind of like these two things eventually parallel, because like, you know, Kanye produced Talib Kweli's Quality album, which I think is definitely one of my top favorite hip hop albums. And so you see, you have sort of this crossover happening. You see Mos Def in the music video, and I think Quality's in it. Common, I think, is in the music video. I'm trying to remember all the people in the music video. Like, they even have, like, you know, Jay-Z's in it, Dame Dash is in it, and I think a bunch of the Rockefeller guys are all in it. And of course, you see it's like a bunch of Polaroid pictures going about, sort of telling his story about his car crash, which had just happened, and he like the point of the song was that like, oh, I'm my mouth is wired shut, but I'm still gonna rap. I'm gonna record these verses. And so it's like, he just had this car crash. He could have died, but he's like so focused on rap, which is kind of like isn't so anything that he does after that like is not really that surprising to me. He's never been like I've never been really surprised by anything that he's done, like as much as people groan maybe at the things that he does or the choices he makes. I am, of course, with a lot of his choices, just not, like disappointed more than anything, because I, was like, here's a guy who's cool with Black Star, he's cool with Jay-Z and a lot of Rockefeller dudes and, Common. And so he's got this backing of all these great hip hop like icons in my book. And so like it's just sort of crazy to like watch him sort of split from Jay-Z and all that stuff. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're going back in time. We're going back to a much better time period when Kanye had a car crash and almost died. I'm horrible, I know. But it's like, so he drops this album, and there's a few songs on there that I don't like as much. Like, and I'm really like, the number one is the Talib Kweli song. Like, I'm sort of that. It took me a while to sort of accept it and like it a little bit, but it's like it's Talib Kweli, it's Kweli and Common on the song, and I don't think both of them really bring good verses to it. I mean, Kanye does definitely does a better job on that song, and that's, that makes sense. It's your album. You don't want to be, you don't want that, Jay-Z Eminem fiasco moment that's so, like iconic with Nas. You want good verses from them, but you don't want the best verses from them either. You don't want them to outverse you. So it makes sense that, these two like icons wouldn't have as good as good verses on this song. And I don't really like that beat, but I like a lot of other beats. And I think he just had this crazy like win, just win after win after win, and just hit after hit after hit on that album. Like that, I love all the songs. Like Family Business is a great one. Like Jay-Z song is phenomenal. Like Breathe In, Breathe Out. No, Breathe In, Breathe Out is I get up, I get up, I get down. Like that's like, and he just took all these different songs, and then he even took like, a club banger like Jesus Walks, which is like, it's like a club, like you could, like he said, you could play that in the club and you could have fun, because it's such a fun song. Like, it's sort of ironic, but that's what he sort of had, this forward thinking and this vision of like, what he was gonna do. And then after that as that album's like, all the singles are progressively coming out. That felt like sort of weird saying it like that, but as they came out, like he's also like being featured on other songs or producing other songs. Like, so I was just, he has a Dilated Peoples song that's their best song. Like, I'm sorry, like that's if you're offended by that, but that was their best song at the time. Like, and he comes out like showing both of them up. Like they both tried, I think, but they got showed up by like Kanye, and like, who talks about Dilated Peoples. I don't even know what's going on with them. I could look it up, but we're not talking about them. And he had that one, and like there's a bunch of other songs that he's like, he's being featured on, and then he's still producing beats. At the same time, people are picking on him because he's saving the best beats for himself, and people really, people really want him to produce and make songs for them. And so, at the same time, he's already announced, I have these 3 albums that I'm gonna. So the first is the college Dropout. The second is Late Registration, and then the third's Graduation. So it's like, whoa, okay, cool. Like I'm excited because I'm like, the College Dropout is perfect, pretty much in my book. I enjoyed it so much. Even like the last gratuitous song where he's explaining how he got a record in the first place and just sort of showing off his ego and his obsession with himself, that it's sort of like it's kind of somebody still at the same time fighting for themselves, because he really had to fight to be seen as a rapper. And he made some of the best bars like of that time period. Like, he was spitting some of the best, like doing some of the best, and then making some of the best records, like making some of the best beats, and so and doing stuff in his own style, like also like. And that's the thing about the College Dropout, is like it's different styles. He's like bringing soul, he's bringing funk, he's bringing sort of the ghetto, like the grind, like the I like to call it like the hood, I guess I should call it, not ghetto, I'm horrible right now, the hood like beats as well. He's got a Ludacris song on there, he's got a Jay-Z song on there, he's got he had is Bernie Mac's not on there. He's got these stupid skits on there, sort of affirming why it's okay to be a dropout. So if some people dropped out, hopefully they hopefully things turned out, but what's going to keep you warm is those degrees. Like, they're not keeping me warm, that's for sure. That's why I'm here doing this. So it's, I should have listened, but I didn't. So it's too late. Anyways, so eventually I get, I like to watch, I liked to watch MTV back in the day a lot, a little too much. And so eventually I see like a special, or like it's sort of like a commercial where he's working with John Mayer, that guy that sings Your Body is a Wonderland on his new album. So he's got like that. So there's going to be a Kanye John Mayer song, which is interesting, because that's like, oh, that's my sister's music. So maybe she could listen to some Kanye, like some Kanye too. And it's crazy. So like, finally we gear up, after hearing a bunch of features and stuff, we get like Late Registration, and it's not as perfect, I would say. There's definitely some forgettable songs on it, and you don't really have like a Jesus Walks moment, or like the Kanye mixtape, the mixtape, the workout tape. I'm messing this up. The Kanye workout tape, which is parody gold, but it's still got some good songs. And you got Maroon 5 on there with Adam Levine. So he's like, that's like, it's crazy that he's got Adam Levine coming in, and he's working with like rock pop guys like John Mayer and Adam Levine, which is totally different than most rappers are doing. Most rappers are kind of stuck like working with like what do we say, like R&B singers doing their hooks, or they're going and doing samples. He's going and getting pop superstars of the time to do the hooks for him. Let me see exactly what. And then he's discovering, he has 2 rappers that he's discovering, or a few rappers actually, like Lupe Fiasco's come out. He's got, I can't believe I forgot that. But, he's got Lupe Fiasco. He's got GLC. He's got Consequence. And is that it? I think that's it. Like, he's got these 3 new, like, rappers as ish. Like, I think Consequence, the one that's been around a while, or GFC. One of them's been around a while. And then Twista. He's got Twista. Is that on this album, or is that on the other one? That's on the other one. No, that's on the... man, he had Twista. Jeez, right? And then he's got Jamie Foxx coming back. I can't believe I'm just blanking on slow jams. My gosh. Right? Kanye slow jams with Twista and Jamie Foxx. From, that's... this is crazy. Like, it's just... He's got so many jams. And he's got Gold Digger, which is like, iconic, classic. Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. And then one of my favorites. Now, one of my favorites wasn't on this. It's Diamonds. The remix with Jay-Z on it. Like, it's... Like, the original's great, but the right... Am I remembering this wrong? I'm pretty sure it was the remix version is so much better. Yeah, the remix version is better than the original version. Was that on the album? I am forgetting. Wow, this is crazy. I'm forgetting a lot. There's so... But yeah, he comes out with all of these... Oh no, Slow Jams was on Twista's album. Right? So he that's 4 rappers. He's launching the careers of Lupe Fiasco, Twista, GLC, and Consequence. Like, he's trying to help other people get up there. And then he's got songs like on Late Registration, he's got Hey Mama. Man, I can't remember. Roses. Oh no, this one's... And then he brings in John Legend. Which, is a little tough subject this year, talking about John Legend, when everybody, is learning how his wife is not such a great person, but, and he brings Common back on his album. And then he produces Common's new album after this, right? Yeah, so good. That is bomb. Yeah, and he's got the skits still. But, I mean, he's got some good songs on here. Hey Mama is a good song that I would play for my mom. I put on that I put on like a mixtape. Where's Drive Slow? Is that? Yeah, Drive Slow's a banger. Like, there's just so many bangers. But then, we gotta talk about the third one. We gotta keep on grinding. And, he continues with this teddy bear theme, goes hard with that. Oh, Stronger's on Graduation. Wow, it's been so long. Jeez. And then, it starts with Good Morning, Stronger, Good Life. He brings in T-Pain. This is like, I know T-Pain came out, talked about his depression, that he got in a depression because of Usher. And, and it's really sad because T-Pain is iconic and classic and just has so many bangers. And this one, Good Life, is just one of all-time best, like, good songs just to, like, dance, and this is a song that should be played at as many parties as possible, because it is such a great song. Like, and how are you not having a good life by listening, dancing to this song? Like, no good hands up in the skyline, build this TV, mama. I'ma put it down. Hey, 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 hey. So there's just so many. Then you got Flashing Lights with Duele. Is that how you say his name? I already forget. You got Barry Bonds with Lil Wayne, which is good. Like, I'm not usually a Lil Wayne fan, but, and then eventually, I think, then he finally gets his John Mayer track, right? And then he got Homecoming with Chris Martin, which is crazy, like a good song. And this song, I think, came out like in between records too, if I remember correctly. Like, it came out in between records, and then he threw it on Graduation. So this song was being played on the radio prior to this album coming out. Like it wasn't even it wasn't a single. It was a new song. I feel. Oh, so good. It's crazy how good it is. Like, this was such a great, 3-album run. Like, so perfect. Well, not completely perfect. Like, not all the songs were, iconic and, you're gonna keep them. But, for the most part, most of the songs, all of the singles were just bangers. He blew up, and here we go. Well, first things first, before this album came out, him and 50 Cent were having a war, because they were going to drop both albums. 50 Cent's second album, which is not Get Rich or Die Trying. It was his other album, which is bogus. Like, I'm sorry if you're offended by that, but it was bogus. It's not as good as Get Rich or Die Trying, or even the GUnit album, which is who's talking about GUnit now? 50 Cent is not even really doing music anymore. He's doing a Stars Power show. He's an actor. Loose, that's a loose title, I guess. He's still, he's very successful, smart, investing in Vitamin Water. Is Vitamin Water still doing? I don't know. But anyway, so they just had this little feud, and then 50 goes on MTV and starts questioning Kanye's sexuality. So that's what I was saying up top, about Kanye coming out as, but he didn't come out. If anything, it was, and he came out swinging, because he actually dominated 50 Cent's album. Nobody's talking about there's so many better songs. There's so many much better songs on Kanye's album. Kanye's album blew up, held the top spot. Kanye killed it, and beat 50 Cent, and so all this all this beef between them was ridiculous. And then 50 Cent kind of stopped music, and then GUnit broke up. What happened to those guys? I don't know. I guess, because that's why you're in that heated comment section right now, trying to tell everybody what happened to them. But it's just, yeah. I thought that was great. I thought that was karma. You shouldn't be talking that much trash, because you were mainly a one-hit album, or one album hit wonder. He did, there's some people that still like Candy Shop or whatever, but it it was bad. Like, it's a bad song. Like, I don't like it at all. Like, there's so many like better songs out there that came out at that time, and I was just like, never mind. 50 Cent doesn't have it in him. Thank you for um, getting rid of that other guy that was annoying. I didn't like that other guy that they had beef with, but that's it. So this was a trilogy that I wanted to talk about. If you liked what I said, anything that I said, or even if you didn't, you better hit that subscribe button, or you'll never graduate. You'll just be you're not going to be a college dropout. You're just going to be a college what college expelled person. College expelled out. That's what you'll be. You'll be expelled. So hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button if you'd like me to explore more of Kanye's work or other people's work, or if you have suggestions. That's always cool and great. Gravy. Yeah. Graduate, like a comment. A Rotten Banana says, Graduation was such a cute album. So bubbly and happy. Good times. Maybe it's just the memories from being in middle school. What the heck? Middle school still, but damn, these are some good memories. Yep. It's good time. So hope you had a good time, and I'll see you in the next video. Wake up, Mr. West.